So what's up, guys? Thanks for checking out this week's project on BeachBumLivin. We're on this week is pretty much a continuation from last week's project, the pallet wood coffee table. But on this week, I'm going to show you how to add a little color to it, make it look really beachy, and it just overall looks even better than it did last week. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you how I got it done. So I'm ready to get started putting a little bit of color on this project. And what I have here is the coffee table that I built in my last video, made out of pallet wood. And the idea I have is to leave the top just natural, just the way it is. It already looks really neat with its varying colors of the different woods and stuff like that. So I really don't want to mess with that. So I'm leaving that just the way it is. But starting on this outside trim of the top down is where I'm going to do the color. So what I actually plan on doing first is I have this dark American Walnut stain. And I plan on, as a base color, staining this whole entire bottom, just so it has like a really dark wood base. And then after that dries, I plan on using this Annie Sloan Chalk Paint, which I've never used Annie Sloan's paint. I hear nothing but great things about it, so I figured I would try it out. But what I have the Florence color, which is like a bright turquoise blue. And I just think it's going to look really awesome with having the natural wood on top, and then everything else has a dark base color, and then have this bright color on top, which I'll probably end up watering down the chalk paint and just kind of putting it on thin, and then so you can see some of that dark color underneath. And then of course taking a little bit of sandpaper and then sanding some of it just to kind of distress it so you can see the undercolors and stuff like that. So it's actually going to be probably really simple because I only have these two steps, and should be cool. So let's go ahead and get started with the stain. All I plan on doing is just like you normally would with stain, is just take a rag and just rub on the stain, and we'll let that dry. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Alright, so I finished putting the stain down. You can see how it really darkened up the wood, and I just think it's going to look really neat with the paint over top of it. But this is the paint I was talking about, this Annie Sloan Chalk Paint. This is the Florence color, and you can see it's just like a bright aqua color, and it's just going to look neat over the brown. But all I'm doing is, I've never used this chalk paint before, so I really wasn't sure how the consistency of it was going to be. I didn't know if I was going to need to water it down so it kind of goes on thin. But I went ahead and kind of practiced on the underside right here, and it looks like you can just kind of put it on thin and just spread it out, and it just goes on like really neat. So all I'm doing is just getting a little bit of paint and then just kind of painting a little bit here and there, and then just then from there just spreading it out. And I'm kind of putting it on blotchy, like you can see right here. So I'm done with the painting part of this project, and I think it turned out really good. This is the first time I've ever used Annie Sloan's chalk paint. I've heard a lot of great things about it, so I had really been wanting to check it out. So used it on this project, and I just think it's an excellent paint. You know, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Check it out. So check out Annie Sloan Chalk Paint. So check out Annie Sloan Chalk Paint. And Annie Sloan, if you're watching, send me some free stuff. Stuff's expensive. Send some paint to BeachBumLivin. BeachBumLivin. What's that from? MacLeod. Oh yeah, super bad. So check it out. Check it out. Check it out, bruh. So check it out. It's weird. It's different. It's a lot different than like a acrylic latex paint, because it's the real deal. It's the real deal. What everybody's been saying about it. it's the real deal. Ooh. When it dries, it's got this kind of like chalky feel to it. But the best part about it was, it's almost like you can paint it on. You know, all I did was, for the whole project, was just kind of barely dip the tip of the brush in. And then just kind of like streak it out. And it almost, you can almost paint it on where it looks like you know, sanded it or something. I don't know. It's like hard. It's kind of hard to explain, but this stuff is awesome. It works really well. So this color's cool too. I think. You know, I really like it. It looks. I thought it looked good with that that dark stain that I put underneath it, and then just painted this bright color. It kind of really contrasts with the light top. But so really, the only thing I have left to do is to put some kind of protection on it. You can use like a wax, or I have, you know, a water-based clear coat that I'm going to put on it. So, because especially since it's a coffee table, you know, it's going to have drinks and stuff on top. So I want to, you know, seal it up. So that's what I'll do next. I'll just put a, you know, a thin coated clear coat, and then I'll be done. You know, this was a really simple project.